Up there, I saw a UFO, and it went down the river, turned right at the United Nations, turned left, and then down the river. It wasn't a helicopter, it wasn't a balloon, and it was so near.
And it looked what, sort of round, white, just luminescent, like, and silent?
Silent, and it looked dark, like black or grey in the middle, and had white lights, just looked like light bulbs, you know? Just going off, on, off, on, off, on, blink, 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 round the bottom, and on top was a red light.
This is an envelope that I saved over the years, since 1974, which is a picture that John actually drew, and it's his version, it's his drawing of what this saucer looked like. So here's the white lights all around, and here was the bright red steady light on top.
And here's where the story takes a twist into the unknown. It was shortly after the sighting and completion of the Walls and Bridges album that John Lennon reunited with Yoko Ono and retired from the music business and public life for 5 years. Shortly after he re-emerged with a new album and a new vision, he was murdered.
John Lennon killed for discovering truth about UFOs and aliens. Beatles star man John Lennon was tragically killed 36 years ago today, but there are areas of his life that still baffle fans to this day. On December 8, 1980, the British musician was shot dead by Mark David Chapman outside his residence in New York City, U.S. Conspiracists have long claimed Chapman was in fact working for the U.S. government. FBI documents released in 2010 suggested they tried to deport Lennon on a number of occasions for his music and influence. But one element of his life continues to confuse the most scientific of supporters. 6 years before his death, on August 23, 1974, Lennon claimed to have come face-to-face with a UFO. Describing it from the rooftop of his New York apartment just after the incident, the 34-year-old said, "I saw a UFO and it went down the river, turned right at the United Nations, turned left and then down the river. It wasn't a helicopter and it wasn't a balloon. It was silent, it looked dark and had white lights." His secretary and lover at the time, May Pang, corroborated his story in her book Loving John, where she went on to explain it as a large, circular object coming towards us. And, according to Pang, it wasn't the first time the singer encountered extraterrestrial beings. In an interview with Larry Warren, from the Merseyside Anomalies Research Association, she said, Lennon, told me that more than once he suspected he had been abducted as a child back in Liverpool. And he felt that experience was responsible for making him feel different from other people for the rest of his life. The star's obsession with UFOs continued after his experience, and in his design for the Walls and Bridges album cover, an alien spacecraft is the focal point. Soon after his completion of the album, Lennon reunited with former lover Yoko Ono and retired from the music business for more than 5 years. And it is this that has captivated the minds of so many. Almost as soon as Lennon returned from his hiatus, with new ideas and an album, he was killed.